Welcome to the Butterflies and Blooms exhibit. Today we're going to be talking about swallowtails. So swallowtails are, you can tell them apart from other butterflies because they have, a very distinct tail at the bottom of their wing. So here we have an eastern tiger swallowtail, with those black stripes, and you can kind of see there are tails coming out of the bottom of the wing. These ones are pretty special because they feed a little bit differently than other butterflies. While other butterflies, may perch to feed, these ones will tend to feed by fluttering over a flower. So they don't always, necessarily land on the flower to, drink the nectar from it. So,
and then Taylor, for this specific butterfly, is this a male or female butterfly?
So I believe this one is a male. As far as eastern tiger swallowtails, the males are the ones that have, the yellow coloration on them, where you can see the stripes much more easily. For this particular tiger swallowtail, variety, the females can sometimes be black instead of having, all the yellow. So the yellow appears to be black instead of yellow, I guess. So those can be a little bit trickier to tell apart from other swallowtails sometimes, but as far as other ones go, there are certain, indicators that, allow you to tell them apart from other ones.
And then in this chrysalis chamber, it looks like most of these are all swallowtail chrysalises.
Yeah.
We have tiger swallowtail, black swallowtail, giant swallowtail.
Yeah, so I believe, are all these black swallowtails? Yes,
These
all the
front
ones in this front row are black swallowtails. One interesting thing about them, and this goes for other butterflies as well, is that you can see how some of them are green and some of them are brown. And I just learned this the other day. Their coloration depends on what they go into their chrysalis on. So if they're going into their chrysalis on, a green leaf or green foliage, for example, they will develop a green chrysalis. If they are going into their chrysalis, on something that's brown, they will go into a brown chrysalis. So, and that tactic is used, as a method of camouflage in the wild. So, yeah.
Are swallowtails native to Wisconsin?
Yeah, so a lot of the butterflies that we have in here especially are native to Wisconsin. They don't require as much humidity as tropical ones may in order to develop. I do know that the eastern tiger swallowtails are native, as well as black swallowtails. I have seen them outside in the garden, and they're really awesome. So if you're walking through here, try to take a look, see what butterflies you can see. I've seen monarchs, I've seen bees, and I know some other people have seen things like, red admirals, viceroys, which we don't actually have viceroys in here yet, but it'd be cool to see them later.
Yeah. I noticed there's a giant, is that a black swallowtail or a giant swallowtail on that leaf?
So that is a giant swallowtail. Giant swallowtails are, giant, of course, and they kind of have a diamond-like pattern of yellow on them, which you can use to tell them apart from things like black swallowtails. You can also use their size to tell them apart from those as well. And black swallowtails also do have little eyes. You can see where the red marks are on there. On black swallowtails, those look like eyes instead of little red dashes.
Okay. Is that just a pattern, or is that like a defense mechanism of some kind?
On certain butterflies, like buckeyes, for example, the eyes are used as defense mechanisms. I don't know about black swallowtails specifically, but, of course they are a pattern, and you can definitely use that to identify them and kind of tell them apart from other swallowtails. So, especially since a lot of the black swallowtails look very similar in, design, color, things like that.
As far as swallowtails, they tend to fly up high, correct? In the butterfly house? Yeah,
so you'll see a lot of them kind of perching up high, like that one, he wants, a lot of the sun. Yeah, so a lot of them, like you can see, if you look over there, you can definitely see a lot of the swallowtails up higher. At this time of day, they can still be very, they can be very active, but you'll see them starting to kind of perch up there as it gets later on in the day. But at this point, they just kind of want to like, get all the sun and things like that.
Okay. Do you have a favorite swallowtail species that's in here right now?
I really like the pipe vine. So
I'm wondering if we can find one, because I do like those too.
Here's one.
Ah.
This one is a bit older.
Yeah.
As you can tell. However, even though his wing looks a little damaged, they can still fly, with about 60% of their wings missing.
Okay.
But if you look at the pipe vine, you might be able to see there's some blue coloration. There's one over there too.
Oh. There we go. Quick look at this one. They keep shutting their wings.
Yeah. So
That's
butterflies,
okay.
when they're resting, they will, close their wings like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want an example of like them fluttering to feed, there's one right over there that is kind of like very active and moving and stuff. So this one is doing that fluttering motion because they don't, rest completely.
There we go.
Feed. There we go.
Is that a uniquely swallowtail characteristic with them fluttering their wings a lot?
That's something I've seen in swallowtails a lot more than I've seen in other butterflies. A lot of them, like zebras, for example,
Yeah.
will only flutter if they're looking for other sources of food.
Right.
If you look at a lot of these in general, you'll see that they are like relatively still in comparison. Only really like flying a bit in order to regain balance and things like that.
Do you know offhand how many species of swallowtail we have?
We have a board right over here, so if you're ever in the butterfly house, you'll
Here's a little
check
guy.
this out.
I'm gonna quick get this.
So-
Oh, there he goes.
So let's see. We have two. Oh, and the zebra swallowtail. That actually might be one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we can find one because that's newer. They've only been here for a couple weeks. Because zebra swallowtail, I don't think are native to Wisconsin, are they?
They are not. So yeah, some species are native, like spice bush, which looks a lot like the pipe vine. You can tell them apart by these markings right here. Sometimes I like to think, they kind of look like fingernails. So, but yeah, so spice bush, pipe vine, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
I believe that's 6 species of swallowtail in here, and about half of them, actually all of them except for the zebra and pipe vine are native, so a little over half of them are native to this region. Oh, 7.
7. Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah, so that is our newest butterfly. The common name for that is the bold rim swallowtail. So it does look a lot like the giant swallowtail, but you'll notice there's pretty much only like a U instead of like a diamond. As far as that, but yeah. So, and then there's another giant swallowtail that's feeding right now.
Oop. They like to fly away. They're so when people visit, if they have one of the sponges with the sugar solution on it, if they can't get a swallowtail to land on it, they shouldn't feel discouraged, right?
Absolutely not. No. So swallowtails, the sponges may not allow them to feed, the way that they naturally do. So certain other butterflies, that you may want to try going after. Oh, and there's one on your cheek right now.
Yep.
Malachites, there's one right over here.
Yeah.
They feed off of, overly ripe fruit in the wild, so you can find them a lot in orchards. So malachites, actually the giants, even though they do not always eat the food that we offer them, sometimes they'll just kind of chill on your feeding stick because they're surprisingly chill butterflies.
Okay. So so giant swallowtails are the chillest of the swallowtails.
They are the chillest of the swallowtails. If you're trying to, have them go on your feeding stick, you're probably going to have the most luck with those ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it for today. So thanks, Taylor, for joining us.
Thank you.
We're open for the weekend. We're open tomorrow for Independence Day. With the temperatures right now, please stay tuned on our website and Facebook page because we might close early if temperatures reach over 91 degrees. So
yep, just keep an eye on that. Yeah, so thank you for watching.